Hello, I'm Steven, the calculator guy, and today we're talking about gOHM. I have been super excited about gOHM for quite a while, ever since I did the Olympus 2.0 video, which feels like years ago in crypto time. I'm not sure how long ago that was, but it's finally here, and it's been here for a few days. I've been a bit busy, but now I'm getting to it. So what is gOHM? gOHM is going to be the governance token of the OHM DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization which basically votes on the protocol improvements, enhancements, expansions, and use of funds. But what can you do with it? So gOHM is effectively the new wrapped S OHM, which is good for a bunch of reasons. One, it is super bridgeable. So all of these wrapped tokens and wrapped reserve currencies, or wrapped stake reserve currency tokens, are super bridgeable, which means you can send them over to whatever other chain you want to. I think right now the major chains that gOHM is functioning on are Arbitrum and even more so on Avalanche. So we're going to look at those two chains. We're going to look at least Avalanche and other potential opportunities on Avalanche for your gOHM. So how do you determine the price of gOHM? Very simple. It's the same as wrapped S OHM. It's the exact same, which is the price of S OHM, which is this price of OHM, right? S OHM and OHM have a 1-to-1 price ratio. So it's the price of OHM times the current index. So right now, the price of OHM is 825, the current index is 40. Oh, cool. It's exactly 40. Really neat. We got a whole number. So the price of a wrapped S OHM or the price of gOHM will be exactly that. This number times that number. Now, if you're familiar with the rebase calculator, which is a free calculator for anyone, you can just type in the current index, which is 40, and you'll get the wrapped S OHM price. That's going to be a little bit off because CoinGecko sometimes gives us slightly different numbers than the dashboard, but what are you going to do? There are many ways to pull live prices. CoinGecko is the most consistent and low maintenance for me. I've tried crypto finance. I love crypto finance, but if I'm sharing a file, then crypto finance doesn't really work because they limit the amount of calls I can make to that API. All right, so gOHM. What do you do with it? How do you make it? The first thing you need is a staked OHM. So to get staked OHM, you need to stake OHM. Now there are many ways to get staked OHM. One of them is by zapping in your assets and just staking from an asset without having to convert. And you save time this way. It is arguable whether or not you save gas this way. It's arguable whether or not you lose on slippage this way. Personally, I would probably still use CowSwap or barn.cowswap and then go over and then stake my time manually, but that's just me. Everyone's different. You know, make your own financial decisions based off of what your gas estimates are. So you can zap in. Once you have your OHM staked, you will receive S OHM as a receipt token, staked OHM. And at that point, you can wrap your S OHM. When you wrap your S OHM, you'll receive gOHM. Now, it is very important for you to remember, and I will say this until I'm blue in the face, that your gOHM amount will not increase with rebases. The amount of gOHM that you're holding will not increase with rebases. The value will increase because, remember, gOHM is a function of the price of S OHM times the index, multiplied by the index. So every time the index increases, and the index increases every single rebase, the value of gOHM increases. So the value will increase with each rebase, but not the amount. That is the beauty of these wrapped tokens, especially for many tax reasons and tax situations here in the States and abroad. I've talked about that in the wrapped S OHM video. Feel free to Google that. Just go to YouTube, type in wrapped S OHM calculator guy. It'll pop up. We do a good bit on that. Okay, fantastic. So let's say you have now wrapped your OHM, your S OHM, you have gOHM. Why is Steven so excited about this? Well, now what you can do with your staked OHM, which is now gOHM, so wrapped S OHM, and a governance token, which is cool. Now you can vote. And if you ever want to learn more about governance, you can click on governance. I believe this will take you to the snapshot. which is cool. There are many things you can actually do. Like you can actually participate in the DAO voting and governance, which is awesome. So see how all these proposals that are active, you can click on these proposals and read through them, and you can vote on these proposals because you will be a governance token holder. You are a governor of one of the greatest DAOs in all of crypto, which is awesome. And I don't say that lightly. I really do think that Olympus DAO has one of the greatest DAOs in crypto history. They've been doing really cool things. I think that DeFi 2.0 is a legitimate thing, and they've done a lot for liquidity in the space. And I do not shill. I'm not telling you to buy OHM or to buy gOHM. I'm simply saying I've been really impressed with the DAO of Olympus. Okay, cool. So this is one thing you can do with your gOHM, right? Definitely participate. It doesn't cost you any gOHM. Just because you hold it, you have sort of a share, and you can make votes. What else can you do? Well, you can bridge it over to Avalanche, and you can stake it as a liquidity pool token for some decent APY. But you have to consider impermanent loss. So let us first talk about how to bridge. You cannot use my favorite bridge, AnySwap. Though some of you may have PTSD from attempting to bridge Phantom over AnySwap, and so you may be very excited to not use AnySwap, which I understand. So how do you bridge? Well, if you were confused, like me, you may have gone to the Olympus DAO docs, which is always a good place to look for questions. And I will say, again, not to overhype this protocol, but the docs here are really... I have forgotten, however, that the docs do not contain the bridging information. I know where I got those. I got those from the Twitter. But I will point out that you can find the token addresses if you click tokens, and you'll find the gOHM, OHM, SOHM, and wrapped SOHM if you still, for whatever reason, messing with that. I don't recommend it. gOHM is the future. But there you go. You will not find the Avalanche token address. However, I will show you how to find that soon enough. To find bridging information, you can go to Olympus DAO's Twitter, which is a very, very active Twitter. How to bridge your OHM. It's super easy, actually. So just click the bridge button, go over to Olympus DAO, click bridge. It's going to open Synapse, which is bridge. You'll select the chain you're using. You'll select the chain that you want to bridge to, most likely Avalanche, maybe Arbitrum. Do they have that? I don't know. Maybe Arbitrum. And then you will enter whatever amount of gOHM, and you'll bridge away. Now, one thing to note is that after you've bridged over and you're on the Avalanche chain, luckily gOHM auto-populates in here. Really cool. Don't have to add the contract address. But if you had to add the contract address, Snowtrace will have it. Just, Snowtrace gOHM, it'll pop up. You'll notice there is some price impact going on. So if I try to sell one gOHM, I will receive 33,000 USD. But to purchase one gOHM, it would cost me 33,807 USD. That's because of the levels of, this is because of low liquidity. Now, we had this issue with wrapped SOHM, but there was no liquidity incentives. Now, because gOHM is the future and Olympus DAO is committing to gOHM, there are incentives. So let's look at those incentives. Over here in the farm. Well, quick lesson on pools and farms. If you don't know the difference, a pool is where you provide liquidity with a liquidity pair, and every time people swap between those two pairs, you make a bit of money. Because whenever someone swaps, like here, trading between one asset and another, there's a tiny little fee that the market makes, and that market distributes portions of that fees to everyone providing liquidity, because if there was no liquidity, those swaps couldn't happen without major price impact and arbitrageurs going nuts. So you're rewarded for providing liquidity here in the pool by getting a small portion of those swap fees. Now, that's pooling. What is farming? Farming is that plus something. So when a protocol like Trader Joe's wants to incentivize a particular pool, they'll say, hey, we'll give you those fees, but we'll also reward you in our native token, which is Joe. And Joe has been pretty impressive. I mean, Trader Joe, clearly the standout winner platform, trading, swapping protocol on Avalanche. So if you go to farms, which are incentivized pools, you will notice gOHM is right here. Now the APR says 10.24% plus 33.63%, which is a total of roughly 44%. So this is a 44% APR, not APY. Now, hopefully in the nearish future, we will start to see this particular pair on our yield aggregating websites like Beefy, like Snowball, like YieldWolf, etc., so that we can see better yields on this. In fact, it would be really cool if we could see this on something like Alpha where we could have single side liquidity providing for gOHM, which is incentivized single side in a way that's not gimmicky, like you would see with, you know, Scarecrow or Raven or Dune, where they're going to charge you a fee. I would absolutely love to see Alpha have incentivized lending for gOHM. That would be freaking amazing. And then you could leverage a gOHM AVAX pair. Please, come on, make this happen. Or any other platform. If I had like the ability to create protocols out of thin air, that is one of the things I would do soon, because I think that would be a great moneymaker. All right, so there you go. You should start seeing hopefully more incentives for providing liquidity for gOHM and other pairs. I imagine it'll be popular once it sort of picks up, because if you can take your staked OHM to other chains, you can start taking profits without paying a ton of gas, which is going to make your profits higher. Especially if you're a smaller investor, investing anything less than 20,000, right? If you're investing more than 20,000, gas isn't hurting you as much, but if you're investing less than 20,000, which is the majority, I mean, I don't know, I believe that's the majority of people, then, you know, this is a good opportunity, but you want to make sure that the price impact is lower. So let's go back and talk about price impact really quickly before we finish. So if we go back over here and we go look at gOHM, or gOHM, I don't know, that's what they're going to call it, but they should call it gOHM. And you're not going to have as much price impact with Avalanche because that's where the liquidity is. So if you look at 261.224 and you switch that to USD, or MIM is a good pair. 261.224, is that it? Okay, so not great actually. But let's go back to gOHM. The less you trade with, you should see smaller price impact, but let's see. So with one, oh, so the price has just changed. With one gOHM, you go to MIM. You get slightly better deals with MIM. So with one gOHM, you would get 22823. And we can compare that to the current price, which may have changed just a little bit. But if you do 0.1, you'll see it's slightly better. And 0.01, you're getting closer and closer to the actual price, right? So 1, you're seeing a bit of like a $300 price impact. 0.1, like a $7 price impact. 0.01, we're at 329. We're so close to the actual price. So if you're only taking small bits of profits, it's still a great place to start doing that on the Avalanche blockchain. Okay, that's it, you guys. I'm super excited about gOHM. And I hate to even mention this, but I'm not even an investor in Olympus. I have no OHM. I've been waiting for gOHM. I think it's about time that I start DCAing into Olympus through gOHM, probably on the Avalanche blockchain. I might buy bits and pieces here as long as the price impact is small, maybe taking profits from other protocols. So I'm, again, very excited about this. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want more content from me, then please feel free to join my Patreon. All of my calculators are over there. If you're a patron of any contribution size, you get access to everything I have. We would love to see you over there, and that's it. So thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your